Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Ford Transit Mania in Aid of Mind, an off-center racing event presented by Grid Finder. My name is Olaf, aka Bob's Racing, and I will be commentating this race for you tonight with my good friend and colleague, Spitz Lam. Spitz, how are we doing?
Hello, guys. I'm doing fine.
And today we have a very interesting event. This is not just a normal race as you would expect. We have some very talented drivers currently out for their qualifying run because this will be a Ford Transit race. Now we've looked up some of the specs, and Spitz, I got to tell you, man, I don't know what to expect from these cars. We have the numbers. I've ran them for you. We've ran them for you. It's 135 brake horsepower at about 2,000 kilograms. As a reference, that's 15 kilograms per horsepower, whereas a Formula One has 1 horsepower per kilogram. So the power shift will be different from what you're used to, but the racing will still be fantastic. And of course, this race is for charity in Aid of Mind. And just because we don't want you just donating, we want you impacting the race. We have some incentives for you to start donating for your event. Something has already happened. We already have a 10% power restrictor on a certain driver that we'll see during this qualifying session shortly. And that's going to be for race 1. We will have a second race on a reverse grid. That is the stuff that you can still donate for, where we have power restrictions, extra ballast, a drive-through penalty. We can add extra time onto the final race time and everything. So I think we should just head over to the trackside pictures and get our qualifying going to see who will get the pole position for race 1. Have the extra 10% of ballast already on them, which is going to be super interesting.
The timing tower will show up soon, just people have to start to get their laps in. In the meantime, we can tell a little bit more about the car. It's a 2005 Ford Transit. It's a 2.4 liter car, inline 4 turbo diesel. It's very interesting stuff that we have going on here. It's a 5-speed manual, a 6-speed manual, and it's a rear-wheel drive. So this will be a lot of fun. The 0 to 60 is around 16 seconds. The 0 to 100 is around 16 seconds. So this will be a lot of fun tonight on. Currently, as you see the drivers going up the hill here.
Open the doors. I thought I saw a door open from the front there. Yep, they might. Yep, they've closed it. That is aerodynamic advantages. That is 100% sure. There it is. The door. They keep opening and closing the door. That is not part of the. That might just be part of a racing strategy. Who knows? This is Macau. This is a street track. I haven't driven here yet. You can see there's no space for drivers to go side by side through this section, as they do so like to try. It's the slowest part of the track, the hairpin, and they can make it, as shown here by John Monroe. Just not side by side. It looks very like the Monaco hairpins, and I do think that the drivers will have some of their expertise from Monaco here to show for this. This is qualifying, and I'm seeing a lot of red dots on my track map. That means contact.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I see a lot of contacts there. Also, fun fact about the hairpin, it is tighter than the one in Monaco, and through the entire race in real life, and here as well, there are yellow flags, so it's a no overtaking zone. Actually, I'm not sure if it's in this race, because if you want to overtake there, you have to go very wide to even turn in any of these cars. Macau is spectacular for F4 races. The Formula Regional World Cup takes place here. I think the same goes for GT4s. And definitely for TCRs, GT3s race here as well. It's an amazing track, and we are going to see a lot of it in these beautiful Ford Transits.
Yeah, we saw some practice laps coming through already. At 3 minute 46 is what I believe was our top time. Big slipstream here though on the back straight. It's a very long straight at that. We've got a slight right-hander here. That's a big slipstream getting past here. Action zones is something that we have to take into account as well. Even though these are trucks, we can still race them, of course. First big action zone, big braking zone coming up here, the quick 90 degrees right-hander. We can see how they can take this corner. Let's see if they actually leave the space here. That's going to be a brake check. That is going to be an impeding of a lap time. And of course, everyone behind them. Or,
oh, well, that's
a car backwards.
Fun. Yeah, turn 3. Sorry.
No, we are seeing a lot of drivers making these mistakes. We have 9 minutes remaining, so they can have a few more laps if they reset back to the pits. But this qualifying is, of course, not everything that it's all about. It is about the race, and it also is, of course, all about charity. We're currently 75% on to our goal, and partially of that is from a generous donation from Simgasm, as they make rigs and seats and stuff and the like for your rigs. I assume some of these drivers might actually be using one of the rigs from Simgasm, and they did say our pleasure. So we surely have them watching with us right now.
We surely do, as now we see Bunny Gale going down to the hairpin, almost, I would say, somewhere around Moorish Hill. The point of Macau as well, with these city walls, you never know where you are on the hill, so it's a very confusing track as well, I would say.
Yeah, this part is maybe practice, like you said, in the F4 cars. Maybe some of these drivers have practiced this track before when they raced it with different cars, but surely not with the Ford Transit. There was a practice session open. I believe some of them partook in that practice. Well, looking at this, I don't think they could have expected this, and that's the thing, right? This is one of the things that I was wondering about. What we're seeing right now is cars toppling to the side. When preparing for this race, I was thinking, what can we expect from here? It's not your normal race, it's not your normal event. Will the cars go sideways or even upside down? We've already seen it, so there's not going to be a question anymore, but we might see that during the race, because this was just qualifying. A driver messes up their lap, hits the wall, goes sideways, another driver rounds the corner, doesn't see it, slams into them, mega crash. What I'm wondering is if there's battles that will be decided because one driver goes upright and the other goes with either a 90 or a 180 degree turn on his axis and just not able to drive.
Yeah, we will see a lot of crashes on the 6.1 kilometer circuits. I think the main crashes will be somewhere on the hill. I definitely, as you said, action zones, we definitely have crash zones as well. One of them is the Melco hairpin, which is the very tight hairpin, which is turn 20. The fast corners, even maybe the bends, in some cars they can be taken straight on. Don't know about in transit, it definitely doesn't seem like it, as John Monroe is already racing on the qualifying lap, now going through Russell, if I'm right, yes, through the 24th corner, the last corner on this track. It's a very tight fit in these cars.
And we've had a very good lap at 3 minute 47 by Lewis Walker, who's currently sat in second place. But the driver in first place is the driver that we were talking about before, with that 10% restriction that will be put on them in race number 1. And it's needed because they currently put in a 3:44. That's 3 seconds quicker, and that is former F1 Esports world champion Lucas Blakely. We have him with us today. He's streaming on his own as well, so go check him out as well to see his point of view of this chaos. And you can check back anytime. It's currently on pole position at 3:44.4. I don't know if we should mention the hundreds and the tens and the thousands, because I don't think that will matter too much. But he will have a 10% power restriction during the race. If you donate, you will still be able to give other drivers a power restriction or more ballast. Quick list of what we have going for you today. It's going to be £1 for a kilogram to add as a ballast to your nominated driver. There will be a maximum of 60 kilograms per car, and also £1 for a 1% power restriction for the nominated driver, with a maximum of 40% per driver. So you can still remove Blakely's power by another 30%. Now, these two do not carry over to the next race. The other two donation incentives are a bit bigger. They're £15 for a drive-through and £15 for a post-race 5-second penalty. So if there's some close fighting going on, you can basically decide it already before the end of the race by just giving them a neat little 5-second penalty. Or if you see a fight going on that you don't want to see, just send them a drive-through penalty.
Also, the amazing thing about these cars, as you can see on Lucas Blakely, is the owner of Off Sentre Racing made these special liveries that show the name of the driver and their position. So you can see it says on the side, Lucas Blakely is in the second, which on the live timings, I have, yeah, my live timings liked. He is still currently first to, well, Lewis Walker is second. How did, yeah, whatever. Somehow I'm wondering how these cars fit on the track, mainly in the uphill sections.
Yeah, they do fit just barely. We saw on the tighter winds that these corners as well. They have to be very careful. They have like 0 downforce. It's all mechanical grip, which is going to be interesting because these corners are quite quick. Like you said in the Formula 4, the Formula Regional Championships, you can see them going very, very quickly. And these trucks will have to slow down. I gotta stop calling them cars. They're not. They're trucks. These trucks should slow down so much more just to be able to take these corners. And even then, if we go through the tighter section, especially the hairpin that we should be coming up just now, as Monroe is now following them through here. He's taking a very wide line. I don't know how much of a side-by-side we can get going on the downhill here. As you see one car, they're on the lane. Of course, it's 2 lanes, so it should be possible. But going through corners side-by-side, I'm wondering how much that is going to get.
I think this is the one corner where you're not going to see cars side by side. As you said, mechanical grip, but the slipstream on these cars is insane. Monroe very quickly catches up to the car ahead of him, and also I want to say it has a motor, 4 wheels, and a steering wheel. It is a car after all, but. Also, I want to get back on the drive-thrus because the pit lane here is quite long. So you can decide if the driver maybe even loses more positions if the grid is stacked. And both of them now bumping the wall in at the last corner, which is just called the R-bend. Some interesting name here. And here we have the timing tower. After all, so it's Lucas Blakely, Lewis Walker, Gerson, Muzik, Tumelti, Batescu, Munro, the older Walker, and Nordset. The other people currently have not settled up yet.
So this is 9 drivers with a valid time, we should say. I think the rest, there are some valid laps being set below that. But below this is all over the 4 minutes, not even a contest for Blakely. You can see that he's almost 3 seconds ahead of Lewis Walker, and Jack Curson almost 5 seconds behind. I do think that we will need some more help on the ballast and the power restriction for the top guys. As you can see, the gaps are just so big. See that 344 for Blakely and a 347 for Walker. As Ritter just puts down a time, it's a 349. I do think we are going to need a lot of help to get some form of competition for the lead, either in the form of a ballast or in the form of some penalties. I think one drive-through might actually put Blakely super far behind. It's going to be a 30-minute race plus 1 lap. So that means that they do 30 minutes, and then once the leader crosses the line, they will have to do 1 more lap, and that amounts to what, about 8-9 laps. And the drive-through is going to go. So like you said, the drive-through, the pit lane is very long. You enter right before the last corner, I believe, and then you exit after the king. So you have the entire bit of the start straight that goes there. And I think you lose quite a bit of time there. So drive-through is actually a lot more than a 5-second race penalty.
I don't know how long the pit lane is. We would have to have a graphic like in F1, the pit stop
exactly,
time.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem that we will have that though. That's not a question that even popped that into my mind, to be honest. But going down to the end of the qualifying, 18 seconds left to go. Blakely has it in store, I would say. And currently looking if there are any more donations going through. But I don't see any donations going through. So it seems like the ballast will be still small for a lot of these drivers.
Now we do have
But
to
we'll
take
see.
into account though, because these ballasts and these restrictions can be added throughout the race. So let's say Blakely is in first. This 10% is not going to help, and he's still going to be faster than Walker and Curson in second and third. And he does actually pull away, because as a reminder, these are transits, the 4 transits, right? If they battle and they lose momentum, like we see Munro do here in this hairpin, it's so difficult to get the speed back up and try to fight for positions. So if you're second and third and you're fighting, meanwhile first gets all the momentum and just carries on through, the gap can just increase. And let's say the first place driver gets away with it super far, you can still add the restriction by donating halfway through the race, so they have to slow down because their performance simply isn't there. Side note, I have heard that speculation, right? This is all speculation. That if the restriction and the ballast reach a certain point, the Ford Transit does not go up the hill anymore. It just does not have the power to reach the top of the hill. And I kind of want to see if that is true, and I really am curious to see if that is going to happen.
I want to do a Mythbusters episode, but it's just this, just...
Exactly.
Try your best. Everything is going to charity, which is amazing. I love these types of races, so I'm very excited to see what the drivers have in store for us. The 16 drivers in the Ford Transit on such, I would say, maybe even the most difficult track in the world. I'm very excited to see what they have prepared for us.
And if you don't know this, if you haven't seen anything yet, you can see in the top right, Grid Finder hosting this race in aid of Mind, and Mind is a charity that specializes in mental help. They have helplines for people that are struggling with mental health. They have communities and everything set up for people that struggle with their mental health. So this is all in aid of those struggling with those mental health issues. I believe last year they raised somewhere in the tens of the millions in just a year. So they're just very big and they're doing a very good job, obviously, by becoming this big. And I believe Formula One even has done a lot of charity sponsorships. I believe Lando Norris at some point got Mind on his helmet as well. So and also some drawings, I believe, from people that were getting supported by Mind. So it's a very big, very good charity, and that's what we're doing it for.
Yeah, it's all in the Mind for charity, which some of these people will need after this extreme combo, I would even say. The 24 turn, 6.1 kilometers for your milers out there, it's 0.8. The track, that's in its modern form, it stands from 1993. The first edition of it being in 1954. The track, I would say, barely changing, to be honest. From those times, it's a historic street circuit here at Macau in the very good state of in Macau.
We have one car currently still on the track. It's going to be the number 14 car. We're waiting for Adam Walton, as everyone is in the pits currently waiting for him to finish his lap. As Lucas Blakely will have pole position, John Munro is second, Lewis Walker in third. Now this 10% restriction will be added at the start of the race, so Blakely will start in first place. But there's something interesting you mentioned before, Spitslam, is that this slipstream is very, very big. It is going to be extremely large for the driver starting in third place. Blakely is going to be in first. He has that restriction, of course, but he's still going to be in first. So the cars behind him will all get a massive slipstream, which means that they'll be able to maybe overtake Blakely before the start and swallow him up back into the grid. And that is what is going to make this turn one super, super interesting.
Yeah, you're great, but I think I know why that is the case. As you said, it's the mechanical grip. These cars have no aerodynamics at all. It's just a box on wheels, to be honest. So it's all to take with the slipstream. So I would maybe even say the lower you are, the faster you can get.
Yeah, way in the back, the drivers, of course, will have every single one of the other drivers ahead of them. So that means that there's going to be a massive hole punched in the air. The drivers will be going through. So we have our countdown of 1.5 minutes. As a reminder, you can still donate. The link should be in the description of the streams that you're watching. They should be on the Grid Finder page. You can find them everywhere. It's still £1 for a 1% restriction and £1 for a 1 kilogram ballast, with a maximum of 40% and 60 kilograms respectively. And of course, during the race, if these maximums have been reached, you can still donate about £15 for a drive-through penalty or a 5-second time penalty at the end of the race. Spitslam, it's prediction time. What are we thinking? Who's going to win?
Well, you have a very strong driver in Lucas Blakely, but as I know some of the drivers the most, Lewis Walker, he is a very fast driver that's not to be messed with. The same can go for Lucas, who is currently in 5th position. So I don't think with these cars and this track anything can happen, to be honest. So even PNG Mafia can somehow win it, but my money is on Lewis Walker. What about you?
Lewis is a good choice. We have the 3rd place, of course. I still think Blakely can win this. If the ballast and restriction doesn't get any higher, he can still pull this off. He's had a 3-second gap way out in front in qualifying. As the lights are turning on, and we are officially a go in Macau. Currently, looking at the front, I think Blakely just got removed from the track. That's Munro currently in 1st place, as we're on board with Lewis Walker on the right-hand side of the track. Heading up to the first turn, it's going to be a slight left-hander. Munro is still out in front. That's number 23 car that we're seeing who gets overtaken here, and that should be Walker on through. And I know the drivers, well, I was going to say very spectacularly going. It's not, oh, they're spectacularly crashing in the back. As Walker is currently first, Curson in second, Munro down to 3rd place all the way from that 1st place position. Curson on the right-hand side is going to get past Walker onto the other right-hander, waiting before this first big braking zone. Walker has the outside line as Curson is currently on the inside. We don't see Blakely anywhere on the grid. We have Butescu on his way, trying to make his way through this. Going to have a big slipstream all the way on the left-hand side. It's going to be 3 wide into turn number 1. But Curson will drop back behind Walker. Everyone crashes into turn 1. That is absolutely insane. Munro was first, back again, is backwards now. Curson gets through, and there's the car sideways on the track. Blakely in 17th place from pole position has to make his way back to all this tragic crashing, and Curson got through. Well, I wouldn't want to say unscathed, but he did actually get hit quite hard, but he's the one that got through. Music about a second behind Walton as well. We currently have Thunder Frog followed by Walker and by, I believe that is PG Mafia. That's a little bit of a tap to the rear of Walker there, the number 39 car up in front as we head towards our first slower section of the track. That's a big send by Frog, who does get the position, and that leaves Walker sort of crippled behind. There's another car sideways, I believe. That is Ritter who has dropped down the order. It's quite close fighting here in the middle back, and I didn't believe it would be this close.
So I think a good idea is also to have Walker Jr. and Walker Sr. because at this point we are going to have a full head of it. But at the back, it seems like Lucas just fell asleep at the start, gave everybody a head start, or maybe just it's not going to be fun if I start in first. Just went into the pits as we see over. Yeah, sorry. But Walker already going through PNG Mafia, Walker Jr. having a very good race. Senior going as well, and I see side-by-side racing between Botescu and Mafia there, right behind Walker Senior. Also side-by-side is Walker Jr. and Frog, but seems like they're in a bit of a pickle sandwich now, going, I would say, around Moorish Hill, very, very close to the hairpin.
Yes, we have confirmed that Blakely started from the pit lane. He only has been decided that maybe starting in first place was not going to be as big of a restriction, or with a 10% restrictor, so he decided to go all the way from the pit lane and start a little bit later than everyone else. That might have helped him a tiny bit, because he has evaded all of the action that has happened in turn number 1, and I see a lot of incidents popping up right behind us in the hairpins. as Kursen and Music are currently still fighting for first. The gap has increased a tiny bit to just over a second. Walton up to third place. He's doing a great job. In qualifying didn't show too much yet, but he is currently fighting to be closer to Music. See if we can catch him in the background there. He's about 3.5 seconds back, just rounding the corner there, as he's trying to follow these top two. And then it's about a 10-second gap to Lewis Walker. As Craig Walker is a little bit further behind. And we see Frog go all the way down to 16th, as he was fighting for a top 5 position earlier on. And I do believe that is due to some big crashing currently happening in the hairpins, as we have just completed our first lap of the race. And that took about 4 minutes.
Yeah, there must have been a massive crash there, as I see still Eurogoda still having his name going red. Lucas Blakely already overtaken for 8th position, side-by-side racing between Munro and Botescu. But Munro is not scared. The understeer is crazy in these cars. I see Matsion, who is now on the racing line, very, very close to all of these drivers. But Lucas, now finishing his first lap from last to 7th, is a very valid honor, but there must have been something massive that we missed in the hairpin.
Yeah, we have got confirmation that there's another. Wait, have there been donations? Am I tripping? I am tripping slightly. Nope. There is going to be another 2% power reduction to Lucas Blakely, as he has been going through the field, currently in 7th place, 6th place actually, as he just overtakes Duclay. So he is currently being down on 12% of the total performance that he has, and that does show on this straight, as he is going side by side, heading onto the first big braking zone. The slipstream quite big. There's 3 cars currently fighting for this position here, with Blakely, who doesn't get to run away with it with this big restriction on a big slide there in the back for Munro, who does get back up again. We'll have to rejoin this fight at some other time, but Blakely currently in 6th place, doing an amazing job and is not being restricted enough. He is currently zooming through the field, trying to catch up to the 2 Walkers, a father and son pair that are making up the 4th and 5th spot on the grid currently.
Absolutely wild racing behind Blakely as well, as Ducla and Mafia were side by side through a couple of these corners. Now going up the hill, that's again a dive bomb from Ducla on Mafia, and it's actually very, very clean for both of the drivers. I respect that a lot, and that's Monroe already joined the fun. And I see some cars at the back from 14th position down. Seems like there's carnage again. I would say that's around turn 3, but we'll never know. Mafia is having a good race, and we will have a solid battle here for P7.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get about 8, maybe 9 laps if they were quick. The average, I think the average lap time currently is about 5 minutes, as we have Tumulty in 8th place. We're currently having a 5-minute 48, only having 1 lap completed, as we are nearing the end of our 2nd lap. Person going towards the first hairpin, currently in 1st place. And Music is following still, but not close enough just yet. Munro getting past Lay in the number 25 car for 7th place. Blakely has caught up very quickly. The gap was about 4 seconds. Now it's within a second. And that fight will just continue as we do. Oh, that is Duclay on his side. And this is what I was worried about. Cars going on their sides. I don't think he can recover from this until he gets a tap from someone. Ritter is behind. He might just give him a little tap. Maybe. Blakely going very deep into the hairpin. That might just be a little maneuver. Oh, well, that is he's being wiggled. There he is. That is sportsmanship. That is Ritter giving Duclay a little tap and making sure he can get the right way up. He just needs to be careful not to give someone else... Oh, there it is. That's Blakely, the fight currently on the inside line for our next corner. 2 right-handers coming up to the end of the lap. Blakely is already passed, and his reduction is not enough. We have 10% reduction from Cameron Corbett, and later on a 2% reduction from Elias Davey, who is trying. They're trying to help the rest of the grid to slow Blakely down. It's not working so far. It's currently up to 5th, as we have 2 drivers. This is 17th and 18th, Uragoda and Frog on. Well, what are they doing, Spitz?
They're trying to get back on track, literally, because it's not in a very good positions. It's like a 15-point turn in these Macau streets. In any car, to be honest, even in the rear-wheel drive, which these cars are rear-wheel drive, so yeah, it's taken a very long time. Volker overtakes for third position, for besides Volton, so this Volker Senior goes down, Volker Junior goes up, and now side-by-side racing.
Hold on, I was going to say, Craig Walker
going back, trying to channel his inner monster, but it's not enough. Still side-by-side through the second turn here. Adam Macau going through some contact here and there. Still side-by-side, Lucas Blakely is unstoppable. The momentum from the fourth transit, from the first two corners, the switchback from Volker. Is it enough? No, it isn't. Blakely on the inside line. Will he break in a pretty good line? That's a pretty good offensive line from Lucas Blakely. And, well, Craig Volker touches the wall there and loses the momentum he had. That was like a very nice overtake.
That's a really good battle down the straight there. I think Blakely could have had a little bit more help with the slipstream that he didn't catch too much of. I think that might have been a little bit more going on there, but the restrictor does work a tiny bit more. We've gotten 12% in total right now. We have someone actually in the voice chat with the drivers, and Blakely just said he's got 1.6 seconds on Craig Walker on the straight, and that is on slipstream with a 12% restrictor. So I believe it's about maybe 2.5 seconds without the restrictor. So we might just need to have him be put down by another 10 to 15% in order to get him down to the level of the drivers here. But we still have Curson in first, and like I said, he's just walking away with it, with Music and Walker in third and fourth positions. Jack Curson in the number 8 car, currently leading for the first 2 laps after that first corner incident, as we have another 2% power reduction for Lucas from Ash on our Just Giving page, and that is going to put him down 14% in total. That will be put into the game in just a moment. Curson here, I think, has figured out the strategy. We've seen Blakely do the same. It's very wide, very deep to the entry of the hairpin, and then very straight on through on the exit. I think that is the way to take this corner, carry the most momentum, and we see these faster drivers do all of that, as Blakely currently has a 4-second gap to make up to first, and I do think that's just going to be the watch to see how fast Blakely can get up to first. And
Volton, wait, I'm sorry, Volton has an issue. Volton has an issue in the hairpin. And Lucas Blakely as well. They're both found themselves there, and Blakely will now be very, very, I want to say, very side by side with Lucas Blakely. And that was a very big issue for Adam Volton. Such a shame for the driver. But I also want to point eyes on Lewis Volker, who currently holds the fastest lap and will continue to do so as he's even faster. Jack Curson also put in the work with the third sector being purple. So these drivers are still putting on very good performances, and the open air of Jack Curson is on it. As I say that, Lewis Volker 347.2 is a monster of a lap here. Can Lucas beat it? He's minus 1.5. Can he even better the lap time? It's still not better than Lewis Volker, but he's definitely hot on his tail.
He currently has about 16 seconds to make up for it. He's got 14% reduction. He has no slipstream, as Craig Walker just gets past Walton for 5th place, a little bit further behind these two. That's going to be a fight for turn 1 all the way to the end, I think, of the straight. We have Blakely 16 seconds, down 14%, and race 2 will be a reverse grid race. So if he does make it up towards the top position, he's going to have to do it again in race number 2.
Yeah, that is definitely for sure, as now Volton is trying to pull abreast with Volker Senior. We see Lucas there up front, and the overtake is done for Volton, but is it done yet? Now changing to slipstreams, going into turn number 3. Can Volton actually try to defend the same as Blakely? But that's a very dirty strategy from Craig Walker, as he also crashes into the corner. And that's Monroe fighting the third one lap in, and Monroe takes the 5th position. As the exact same, and it's the best part. Just came in, swooped to the places. Thank you, I'm running for the victory.
Currently in 5th place, got about 7 seconds ahead of him. There's more fighting behind though. In 12th place and 13th place, we still have a fight going within the second. Some more lap times being set below the 4 minutes, which is something that I thought was going to be regular, but most of the laps here are either over 4 minutes or even into the 5 minutes. Currently gapping out in first, still 7.5 seconds, 8 seconds right now. We've seen a lot of donations coming through for Lucas, and just got another donation. It's going to be 5 kilogram of a ballast to Curson. So you will get a 5 kilogram ballast for our first place. And I'm sorry to butcher this name, but Wojtek Vitek has just donated £5 to get that 5 kilogram ballast. As now we see Corbett go off onto turn number 1, and that loses that fight. And I think Timothy is able to catch up to this and go on.
So someone is right there. Oh yeah, I know the guy who donated, at least. Fair enough, at least I know my community is watching the streams. But it seems like Timothy is very close to Corbet as... Is it Corbet or Corbett? I don't know what nationality he is right now, but... I'm so sorry if I butchered that name, but Timothy just goes past, no issue at all. It's how it should look like.
So the gap in first, 12 seconds. That 5 kilogram ballast has not done its thing just yet, as Blakely is gone on to P4, passing Match and Cheek, and he's just gone down to 6th and 7th now, down to 8th maybe soon, because there might be a problem with our car currently in 7th with a number 18 car, as Walton also is having an issue. That is currently down to 7th, and yes, that is Match and Check coming on through right behind him. There he is, the number 18 car in 8th place. This will be a fight for 7th. Small tap to the rear, and that will give him a little bit of a bump draft. Will help.
Oh, sorry. Volker overtook Music. Music has a massive issue in the last corner. I know we are on a battle, but Music is going very slowly. Blakely takes the fastest lap, but I even think that Macionic and Walton can catch up to Music to have a freeway fight.
This run out of the final corner is super important, like we talked about before. You have the momentum that you need to carry with these cars, and if you don't have that from the final corner, you're going to lose a lot of time. And Walker Sr. on his way to catch that. Match and Chicken Walton currently on that start-finish straight, just finishing up their 4th lap. And yes, this has only been 4 laps. We have, I think, 3 laps remaining, maybe 4 even, as Curson is still doing just under 4-minute laps. He's going to be able to complete 3. Then a 4th one as the timer runs out, and then I think we might even need to do a 5th lap, to be honest, as Walton is currently chasing down Match and Chick for that turn 1. Right-hander here being taken very nicely, catching that slipstream, and now on their way towards the big braking zone. We saw Blakely pull out some dangerous moves here by going to the right-hand side and braking very, very late. That is going to be the same look for Walton, as he's a little bit too far, I believe, for the big braking zone. He will still try it though. The look towards the inside, it's a big send and large brakes. There we have him. The lights are going to be turned on, and that's Match and Cheek able to hold on to the position. And now we're going up to the uphill, and it's going to be very difficult for him to get anything done.
Back onto that again. We go down to grid a little bit as Corbett and Panigale are doing some rubbing and racing here in the Force Transits. Also, a lot of people are not even scared to try and bomb draft, but that's a dive onto the inside line, but he's going too inside and touching the inside wall, so Corbett is not going to overtake anyone soon.
I'm just thinking here, right? If you want to overtake someone and you take the inside line, there's not that much downforce on these cars. I say not that much, it's practically 0. But I mean, the shape has got to do something, and the doors, man, they have to do something.
DRS.
There's very little. I think this is going to be more drag if you open the doors, but sure, it's a drag addition system, it does. No, not the DAS again. If you take the inside line, you have to slow down so much to make the corner that you lose so much of your speed and your momentum, as that's a big tap to the rear of Tumulty, who, oh, that's Corbett actually, getting hit onto by, that's Panigale, currently in 14th place.
10 more to Lucas.
Oh no, that is going to be 10% added to Lucas Blakely as a power reduction by Elakis. That might be actually moved on to the next race, as they don't carry over between this and the next race. So we're going to have to wait and see if that is going to be dropped now or in the next race, because he is making his way up to third place now. That's Corbett into the wall once again. And nope, the 10% has been added this race. So what are we on now? 24%? I think we are on 24% currently on Blakely. But he
race
shows no
control,
sign
we need an update.
Currently about 4 seconds behind Walker now. He is in third, so he has got his podium on his mind. 10 seconds between him and the lead, who, may I remind you, has also got a 5 kilogram ballast. That's two different things. The ballast and the restrictor. That's two different things. So Curson has got currently a 5 kilogram ballast. His lap slowed down. That's about a 14-second time loss on Walker on the previous lap. Blakely getting another fastest lap in. He's just hammering them down at 3:45.8. He's gained about 13 seconds or 12.5 seconds on Curson on this lap. If we do that once more, he's going to have the lead. He has to get past Walker first, but that is going to be a very interesting run once we eventually get there.
Yeah, both of them separated like second to first and first to second by around 4 seconds now, saying that because it's around 5 seconds to Lewis Walker. But my prediction is sort of becoming true, which is surreal. That's not that you...
Hold on. Your prediction is coming true because Lewis Walker is currently on his way to attack Curson, but mine is also because Blakely is on his way to attack Curson, and it's going to be, I think, one or the other, as Dukle is going to go the wrong way to try and reverse his car into the right position. Look at how slowly that goes. The shifting as well, I think, in normal racing, and usually in GTs or in Formulas or in Indy cars or in Formula E's or whatever, your shifting is automatic. You don't have to worry too much about it. But the shift timing in these trucks are kind of important, and I have seen some drivers actually take very long with shifting. And you see there Blakely as well. That is one shift. You can see the way he holds on to the stick a little bit too long for his liking, probably. As I believe these are blue flags that he has to maneuver his way through. That's the number 47 car. That is Thunder Frog currently in 18th. As Blakely is trying to make it way through, but no one is stopping for blue flags.
Yeah, this looks like, well, don't know what blue flags rules are we playing about, but that's a hell of a slide for both of the drivers. But if it's F1 flags, that's definitely a penalty. If it's any other types of flags, then just get out the way, you're annoying, but there is nothing we are doing with you. Yeah, that's one way of getting out of the way.
That's Frog making a small mistake. I do think, though, that if the way they hit the walls might have been a strategy, because they did look like they got a lot of traction to get out of that corner, right? So he slapped the wall, and then both of them did actually. So maybe someone's figured it out, someone else has seen it, and they've just shared the strategy. Just at that turn, hit the wall as hard as you can, and you'll be able to keep the momentum.
I know we have trucks, but we are not playing Truck Mania.
Well, maybe. Let me dream, man. Let me dream. Let me have some hopes. We do have Walker currently chasing down Curson still. 3.5 seconds is the gap. Walker has the number 80 car, and according to my telemetry, he is just a tiny bit behind Curson.
Are we going to have side-by-side racing, or how we call now open door racing between Northset and Dukle? They're actually using it. No, they're not using it. They just have it open for the fun of it. The track addition system is fully live here at the mountain, going up the hill. This is the slowest overtake, I won't say we will see, but that Clay thinks something else of it as he closes the door, because all the time you have to leave the space doesn't apply in these trucks.
And it's very difficult to go side by side here anyway, so once you do get the overspeed, what then? What do you do then? There's very little way.
Pray.
Pray. Yeah, I think that's the correct answer here.
If you're atheist, good luck. I don't know, man.
It's very difficult to do so. One thing to note though is that these trucks are a right-hand drive, so any Brits currently in the race do have some advantage over the ones that are not from the UK. A quick update on the lap times is that Curson's gone 2 seconds slower than Walker and Blakely, so those gaps are shrinking and shrinking. We have currently Curson, the number 8 car, on the start of a new lap, which means he's going to be able to do 2 laps and then 1 more, which means we will see 9 laps in total of this racing. Race 1 and race 2 will probably be the same amount of laps, unless something big happens, of course. Person now, and that's Walker actually. As Walker, Lewis Walker on his way to fight for the lead. Blakely got held up a tiny bit, but currently there's no other cars in between Curson and Walker, and between Walker and Blakely. So they do have some coming up just further ahead. Uragoda and the number 49 is on the hill section. The car is currently still, with these restrictions, able to go uphill, so we haven't hindered them enough yet.
I'm not sure if we'll see 8 or 9 laps, to be honest. Now I'm confused, but North-Sev is actually diving it into the hairpin. Insane stuff. As Duke just bears the pain in DNFs. No, it's just, I'm kidding, it's just Wi-Fi issues. But what an insane overtake into the hairpin. That takes balls. Even in these cars, like, take that 5 times more. That's actually insane stuff. Last of the late breakers.
You are actually, you know, you're saying it takes balls, but how many times have you seen these drivers hit either each other or the wall, and the trucks are still standing? They're still going. They're broken a little bit. They're dented a bit. As you can see, Walker here, Craig Walker, having quite a bit of damage here as he's chasing down Machinchik for 6th place. But they have slammed the wall plenty of times. They've gone upside down a few times as well, and they're still going. I don't think it's slowing them down too much. So yes, it takes balls, but also it's super easy to just slam into a wall and gain some advantage out of it, as Northset loses a little bit out. And we see BNG Mafia as well go down to 11th place. There are still some fights going on. A fight that I want to look at currently is Curson in 1st place and Lewis Walker in 2nd, only 2 seconds away. This is getting closer and closer into the final stages of this race. And I do have to say that this is going to be, I think, the tightest racing that I have seen since the Formula 1 Grand Prix.
I have seen even closer stuff. One time I've seen a finish that was just 19,000s. Absolute insane stuff. So,
well, we might get a repeat of that if this continues on. I mean, Curson's got a small little restriction of a little bit of ballast coming in, so Walker can get closer. Blakely is still chasing them both down. I think he's going to be on a good lap here as well, as he got pretty good clean air. So we'll take a look at the lap times as they cross the line. It's a 3:49 for Curson, a 3:47 for Lewis Walker, and a 3:46 for Blakely. So once again, they are chasing down the 1st place driver.
This is the last lap of the race.
Well, no, we are 30 minutes plus 1 lap. So that means that when
they
cross the line,
okay, that's
going to be 1 more. So this is lap 8. They've done 7 laps. It's going to be lap 8, and then it's going to be 9 laps. As Curson is slowing
Lewis
down.
Round outside by Lewis Walker on Carson. What a move, but Carson now trying to make the switch back onto the third corner here at Macau. Amazing racing between the two. And actually, are we going to have something more? Curson onto the inside line. Turn at number 3, but he's not done yet. Walker into the wall. Where is Lucas Blakely? There he is, going through cleanly.
That was our first fight for the lead. That is going to be a little sniff of what we can get in race 2 as well. Curson fighting with Lewis Walker, who has dropped down because of a small incident with the wall. Blakely is still going. He sent it on quite neatly. 4.5 seconds now to Curson. If he gains another 3 seconds per lap, this might actually come down to the final lap. So we have 1 minute on the clock, which means that it'll reach 0 before Curson hits the finish line. And then we get 1 more lap, about 4 minutes of racing, as Tomoti, currently in 12th place, goes after the number 33. And that is going to be PNG Mafia, currently in 11th place. Will lose out on that just now. But if he can get into the slipstream, maybe he'll get it back.
I have to disappoint you, but looking at the session details, I don't see +1 lap anywhere.
I'm not sure either. We will see, though. We will see. Maybe it's going to be like this. We will see. We'll always have a second race where we can have it right. You know, it's I'm betting for the +1 because I'm hoping it's going to be the +1. But maybe you're right. We'll see. So they're still going side by side, Tomoti and the Mafia on the start-finish straight. So that he is currently trying to get past for 11th place. Is past, just barely. But like we said before, the inside line might not always be the fastest, as Mafia has got that down. The momentum, it's so slow, man. It's super slow. The Mafia doing a very good job in that corner, by the way. I'm just talking about momentum and everything. He is doing a great job. He's fighting, holding the inside line. Holding an inside line a little bit too much, maybe. Tomoti on the outside for that turn, and we're not going to be able to see that as Curson goes through the hairpin. That's always a nice view. There's the fight back. Just took way too long for our camera operator to keep that on there. Tomoti doesn't get the position, tries for a switchback as Mafia drops back on that corner. And now the inside is to Tomoti. A small tap to the rear wheel that sent him into the wall. It will tap him slightly, slowing him down onto the uphill, where the momentum is so important. But Tomoti will have track position going up the hill. That's also very good.
It is the final lap to turn 3.
Oh, yep, you're
I was correct.
Right.
Where's my cash?
Well, I mean, your cash is going to be going towards
donated
for charity.
Yes,
so yeah, you should probably do that.
How
I mean, you already have, right? You already have.
Yeah, I already have donated.
Well, it's a non-biased donation. I should have to mention that. You're doing a great job of being non-biased. Final lap currently, Curson in first place. Blakely 2.5 seconds behind, which means that Curson will start in last place for the second race, as he does a nice stylish run. A final donation from this race from Agudol, a £30 donation. Very much appreciated, putting us up to 84% of our total goal, which does mean that we will have some other donations that we can still get for our second race, for some more ballast, giving Blakely another chance to start from last all the way down, well, second to last, all the way down to another a fight for another podium. So Curson first place, Blakely in second, Walker, Lewis Walker in third, Monroe in fourth, Music in fifth, Machenchik in sixth, Craig Walker Senior in seventh, Walton in eighth. We have Budescu in ninth, Ritter in 10th place, and that is I don't think that is going to be changing at all. Tomoti in 11th as it stands, PNG Mafia 12th, Nordseth in 13th, Dukle in 14th, Penega in 15th, Corbett in 16th, Uragoda in 17th, Thunderfrog currently in last. There is still a fight. Dukle chasing down Nordseth and Uragoda chasing down Corbett. So it is quite close. I do believe that we have already another donation here. It's £10 from Emilia Formula One for another 10 kilogram ballast for Lucas Blakely, saying donations carry over, do they? Enjoy plus 10 kilograms ballast for race 2, Lucas Blakely. So Lucas, if you're listening to this, enjoy that extra 10 kilograms. You're gonna need it because I think 24% restriction did not really hinder you in any way. So we might need another 25% restriction for the second race to be able to do anything against it. So rise through the field as Nordseth does actually drop down the order, as Dukle is now a little bit up front. That's the 47 car in front. That's Thunderfrog, who is an entire lap down. Nordseth trying to recover back to the track in the, I believe he's in the number 11 car, as he is going very, very slowly. This is not all four positions. The closest we have is Corbett and Ragoda for 16th place. And this is just Frog in 18th, trying to make his way through. I'm going to have to remove my notes real quick, because that was not a +1. Of course, it was only 30 minutes, so the information page was a little bit wrong there. And Frog is weaving in the way of Duckley, trying to slow him down, so you can have some fight still with Pennygill in 14th. That's not going to happen, I think. This is going to go straight towards the finish line. And unfortunately for us, both our predictions ended up not being true. Lewis Walker got 3rd, Lucas Blakely got 2nd. So I think by proximity I have won. So then again, I would have that cash, right? To donate to charity after the race.
Duck just committed arson.
Well, I mean,
Thunder Frog just got spun around.
If we're talking about rules before as well, right? You said about if it's Formula 1 rules, he should have had that penalty. Well, if it's Formula 1 rules, he went left, he went right, he deserves to be put into the wall, in the words of the great Max Verstappen, of course. So, I mean, last place anyway, wanted to give some action on the screen. He's going to cross the line just momentarily. So we have a few more cars currently circling the track. Oh, that's another attempt there by Frog, who does cross the line now. Uragoda coming through, and we do have Corbett as well, still making their way through. So that is the first race done, with Curson in first place. I do have to mention one thing, because it is a reverse grid. We saw Frog being last place. We saw what he could do. What is he going to do in the second race? I wonder.
I wonder as well, but I want to predict anything, because commentator's curse is commentator's curse at the end of the day, and anything can happen.
No, that is fair. That is fair. Although Kirsten's going to start all the way at the back, Blakely's going to start one position ahead. He will have that 10-kilogram ballast. That's still going to carry over. Be careful, though. The donations are still able to come in through. So race 1 is ended. We have a second race where you can still get your donations in. As a reminder, if you haven't donated yet, there should be a link somewhere. We can have a QR code up. If I'm looking at the race director, we should be able to get that up. To be able to donate, you should be able to get those links. And the incentives are, of course, £1 for 1 kilogram of ballast and £1 for 1% restrictor on the driver of your choice, with a £15 donation for a drive-through or a 5-second penalty towards the end of the race. We currently have queued up 10-kilogram ballast for Lucas Blakely, going all the way from the back. We have a Tomati fan club who just donated £10. Unfortunately, adding power isn't allowed, so I think they've just added £10 to our account, and that's going to bring us up to, I believe, 88% of our target for this week. So that's quite a good amount, I should say. So we're very happy with all of these donations. Thank you so much for donating. This all, of course, goes to the Mind charity. So we're very thankful for all of our donations that are coming through. 89% I'm just seeing. We are getting very, very close as the drivers are getting ready for their race. Thunder Frog should be starting on pole position, with Blakely all the way down. Actually, we have a donation, and this is lore. Jack Curson has just given a donation, £10, and it's going to be give Joel 10% less power. Joel, in this case, being, I believe, Joel Tomati. Yes, he is. Joel Tomati will receive a 10% power depleting by Jack Curson, our race winner. We'll have to do some infighting there to see what is happening.
Oh, and we have turned into the night skies here at Macau. It's a very beautiful track, now lit up even more beautiful. Well, this will be a very interesting race, and I have a question for you, Vaps. Who is going to be first at the end of turn 3?
Well, at the end of turn 3? Well, that's actually the first braking zone, for those not keeping count. That will be, I mean, no. Can I say no one? Is that allowed? Do we get a repeat from the previous, from race 1?
You can say that everybody just is in the wall. Like, technically, you can say that. It's
well,
fine.
90% of the cars will go into the wall for sure. As this is going to go crazy. Cameron Corbett, who is in the race, we're currently hovering over in the 9th place. has just donated £20 to put another restriction on Lucas Blakely. So he had already 10% ballast. He now has another 20% restrictor, as Joel Tomilty has a 10% restriction as well. So Blakely starting in 17th place, as we are a go for our race with Thunderfrog currently in first place. And I do believe we have someone going to the pits already, as Thunderfrog is first called and tries to defend it from here on the outside. Who's that on the outside? That's number 11 car of Nordset, and Thunderfrog able to go on through, and well, he might just be the car in first place out of turn 3 if this keeps up. We have Iragoda right behind him though, on his way to maybe get a distant slipstream, as there's a very big fight behind. Duckley going up to 4th place. Corbett in 3rd has given that a £20 donation for restriction on Lucas Blakely, who currently is in 14th place, making his way up 3 wide, going through turn number 2. That's a lot of crashes here going through this second turn of the racetrack. Thunderfrog slows down. Uragoda is on through. They're side by side going to turn 1. Lots of cars jumping up and down in the back of our screens. We have Uragoda on the inside line. Will break here, trying to overtake. Thunderfrog does get alongside completely. 49 on to 47. But Frog able to go on through. Does hit the wall there, I believe. And Uragoda is still fighting with it. There's lots of crashes here going on the back of the grid. Someone's gone off. I think that's Walker. He's gone into the wall. Everyone's crashing, and it's upside down for some of these drivers almost. And we have the number 77 car first on the track. And that is Ritter currently in 12th place, as he will be pushed on. And Frog does get in first place with the match and shake in 2nd. And Blakely, Lucas Blakely, is up to 3rd.
Absolutely insane stuff though. The movable chicane here. Corbett is here just to create chaos. And another 5 pounds of ballast for Lucas Blakely, just from Bingley Victoria, just adding Monaco the cat in the passenger seat of Lucas Blakely's van as the ballast. But now side-by-side racing, Macionski side-by-side with Frog, but still, I won't say very clean, but then they touched. Still side-by-side is insane on the streets of Macau, but Machonchik tries it, but now Lucas Blakely just powers through, even with the ballast, even with everything else. Having the cat there, it's some pretty good racing between everyone here.
I do think we might need to see some more restrictions on Blakely, as he already is in 2nd place. It's a big contrast from the first race, where he took a while to get up to these positions. Machinchik currently on his way to fight for these top positions. Still within that space to maybe get a send in on Blakely. Does tap him to the rear, maybe wants to send him into the wall. Doesn't happen. Frog still sets out in first place in this fight. Now Machinchik side by side with Blakely, has his wheels in front of the rear wheels of Blakely, and the left-hander coming up to the hairpin, trying to give him a few pushes to the inside, see if he can get past, but he does get sent towards the outside, taps the wall, and stays behind our top 2. Nordset claiming a spot in this fight as well, about a 2nd behind Machinchik, and the outside line being taken here by him as Blakely goes on through. Frog hits the wall. That's Blakely in first place for the first time today, after taking pole position for race number 1. Getting 2nd place in race number 2, starting way at the back, now in first place towards the end of lap number 1. Something that I didn't think could be done, but he does still have a fight on his hands. Machinchik in 2nd place, within the 10th, as he does go past on the timing tower, has a bit more momentum going into our penultimate corner. Gets the outside line under the lights of Macau. Blakely is not giving up just yet. His restriction and the ballast though is not helping him on the straights. 20% restriction and 25 kilograms ballast. He still is able to get another 35 kilograms of ballast and another 20% restriction. Goes up to the inside of Machinchik for our final corner, and I do believe he will claim first place for our finish on lap 1, but this restriction is not going to help him at all.
Yeah, definitely not at all, but still side-by-side racing with Lucas Blakely and Machinchik. Through the first corner they go. Very, very clean stuff. Who all can say they were racing side-by-side with the former F1 Esports World Champion. Definitely Machinchik can, and he can even say that he overtake overtook him, now coming into the second corner, full of darkness, lights shining from the fourth strands. Lucas Blakely taking inside the outside line, still very, very close, still side by side. Remember, no side drafting, nothing like this exists in Assetto Corsa, so just pure racing magic. Even behind them, it is still side by side, but it seems like Macionchik has the inside line. He's on the better course. Now it depends who breaks later, who breaks more. Still side by side through the first turn. Amazing racing, a little bit of a touch there from Macionchik onto Lucas Blakely. The inside line now going up the hill. Macionchik just pushes Blakely wide.
That's good racing there for first place. Macionchik taking away P1, and that is let's just say that is not going to be the ballast. That's just going to be the racecraft from Macionchik, who is just that good. Former esports world champion, for F1 esports world champion, out of first place. Nordseth has gotten past Frog, as has Walker. Frog now down to 5th place. See Walton and Duclay now fighting with Frog for that 5th place. As an update, we have gone up to 95% of our goal, so we're almost there. We just need a few more donations to hit our donation goal, and even after that, we can still keep going for more, because this race still has 24 minutes to go, and we have more ballast to give Blakely, because this is a pace that this man is on. Taps the rear to the wall slightly, slides a bit, catches it very neatly, and has to follow Macionchik through now. He's pushing him a tiny bit, trying to create an opening somewhere, as contact is of course out. And he's not able to do so just yet. Might have to find a way through at the hairpin. Is doing a great job of following through. Walker now past Northset for 3rd place. That's going to be for a podium spot. Macionchik doing a great job of holding the champion behind him as they're heading on through the slowest section of this track. Right-hander here onto small straight left, and then all the way up towards the hairpin, and then it's downhill, and let's see if Blakely can find a spot to overtake.
As one of my favorite commentators says, get your popcorn ready. Stuff is about to get heated up on top, but behind them as well, I see a lot of racing. Northset dropping like a sack of bricks, but now Macionchik and Blakely going into the tightest section of the track. Blakely is trying to carry as much speed as he can, but now carried all that speed onto Macionchik. So very, very close racing here. We have risen to 98%, and also I want to say it's just a big 99% actually, and it's just the beginning of the week. This is the entire time till the end of the not month, but the end of the week, and Lucas Blakely goes onto the inside line of the penultimate corner, still side by side, but Macionchik is still going very well, and that's a very, very big crash at the hairpin. That's everyone from P5 down is stuck at the hairpin, and I just got news. We have completed the fundraiser goal. Don't know where that news comes from. I still see 99%. To be
we are
honest with you.
we are on 99% because of some differences in
Get back to racing it
currency.
side by side between Macionchik and Blakely. Please, I don't care what's happening at the hairpin. Oh Lord, help everyone there. What is Lucas Blakely and Macionchik going side by side? Amazing racing between these two drivers. The transit vans at Macau, you know, some of are putting on a show that I would pay money to watch actually. Lucas Blakely round outside, on the inside line of turn number 2, has the inside line now for turn number 3 as well. He will break later than Macionchik. We definitely know that, but that might be just the case for Macionchik. Blakely now. And it's Macionchik going very, very deep into the corner, and Lucas Blakely claims the first position, at least for this lap.
And we're gonna have to look at some donations in the meantime. We've received $20 US from NY Vice Bailey with the message "Let's go John Traction" for an also live on the Traction GG stream. Michael G with £5, and Ryan with a £50 donation. Love the cause. Keep it up, and with those donations we have reached our goal, and we are over our target right now. That said, though, we have 3 drivers pretty clear of that big crash that we had in the hairpin. As a reminder, the ballast and the restrictions are not the only incentives, right? Those 50 pounds could have given 3 drivers drive-throughs. The first, second, and third place could have gotten a drive-through. As a reminder, it's a long pit lane. That will definitely set them back a bit. If we're being funny here, we can give Blakely and Match and Cheek both a drive-through, have them see them just go into the pits right behind each other, and exit as well, continuing this battle, but not in first place, but like in 5th or something. It would only take 30 pounds, realistically. So
I want to say you can donate the 15 pounds and it's 5 pounds cheaper than if you gave him 20% restrictor, and it creates even more chaos. So I think it's a very good deal. Maybe even slap 30, give him 2 drive-throughs, or to give 2 different drivers drive-throughs. To have fun with it. That's the main part of this event.
I do think we have car number 47.
Frog.
That's Frog. He's currently waiting to be tipped. I think we saw, was it Duckle who was sideways? Well, no, Frog's come back. Oh, that's so sad. We saw someone get tapped by Ritter to get back the right way up on the track on race number 1. But no one's done that to Frog. I mean, I get Lucas Blakely and Oscar Machenchik not doing that. I can't understand that. But everyone behind should have some time to maybe adapt a little bit, as Machenchik is doing that to Blakely, trying to send him into overspeed into the corner that he didn't expect. The slipstream quite big, like we said before. Blakely holding on to a defensive line. He'll lose a lot of speed. That's very quick for Machenchik. It's going to be the second time that he displaces the former F1 Esports champion of his first place. Blakely still on the inside line. Breaks later, of course, than Machenchik, but might just overshoot the corner and hit the wall. There it is. Big tamp. Does keep the track position.
Oh.
Is getting upended by Machenchik, and that loses him the first place. He's going backwards and reverses the car. Ooh, very nice 180 there for Blakely. I kind of thought that he was going to continue the track backwards, but then I remembered that this 135 brake horsepower doesn't actually transfer to the reverse.
No, it doesn't, but what I thought he was going to do is rotate in the corner, but then I was like, there's a big hill. He actually might not make it if he tries that, so this was the better question, but Lewis Walker is very, very close as well. There's now Yordokta onto Curson, and it's side-by-side racing. Side-by-side racing even before them seems likely by some drivers that might be Frog with someone. But it's Yorogoda and Curson now going into the third corner. Still side by side. Very good racing, very clean. They didn't touch each other. I have to admire that. So good job, guys.
That's a fight for 6th place. Oh, well.
I take it back. I take back everything I said.
That's a lot of taps there. That's Curson coming through now for on the 6th place, getting past Yorogoda. And Tomoti is currently in 8th. Unsure why we are looking here. He's just making his way up the hill. He's trundling. He's making his way through. Yorogoda chasing down Curson here. Curson has that restriction on him. I can tell you that much already. And he's making his way through. Music is a little bit further up ahead. And of course, these are the gaps between the drivers. So if Curson does get past Music He still needs about 30 seconds onto Munro, and then another 14 seconds onto Walker. As Blakely has been dropped by about 8 seconds, and Walker is now on his rear. This is going to be a fight for that second place. Blakely just ahead of Walker, as I believe they are currently heading onto the tighter part of the track, and that is the hairpin.
That is definitely correct, and now we are going to witness the Battle of the Giants. Interesting that Walker's name, the turn in red, means that they had a collision with something. Lewis didn't touch anything and his name was red, so Acero Corsa doing Acero Corsa things, that's completely usual, nothing to worry about. So it's Lewis Walker versus Lucas Blakely, the two L's. I think both of them from around, I won't say the United Kingdom, but that's Yordoga, spawn somewhere around, getting some help from Tumulty, and who else? Don't know who that last car.
I was gonna say, like, how are you gonna describe this, right? There's 5 cars coming, and they're all gonna be stuck in this part of the track. This is right before the hairpin. Luckily, the lead car is nowhere close, so they're currently on the start-finish strip. But if they keep it up like this, they might just get them out there.
I just want to say that, how do you describe this? Macau.
I think that's the only correct way to describe it. Walking on the rear of Blakely, who has lost out in that first place fight with Matching Chick, is now maybe losing out on the second place as well, as Walker is going to give him a little tap to the rear, just give some overspeed, and then get him out of position here for that turn. 30 minutes remaining, which means we have about 3 laps remaining, if I'm not mistaken. That means we do have exactly enough time for a drive-through for these drivers, especially Matchenchik, who is now currently in first place. I do believe if he gets that penalty, he will drop back behind Walker, as the gap should be about 20 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds, which means we might see some drivers drop back even further. If we give Blakely a drive-through now, he will be fighting with Munro. Maybe for 4th place, who knows? Actually, scrap that. Munro's just got plus 44, way further back. I don't think that's going to happen, as Munro is in some trouble. So the number 23 car is going very slowly on the start finish straight, and Walker not able to get past Blakely just
yet. The frog is reversing. Frog is reversing. That's what we know from race control. Will we be able to see it? That's my question.
It looks like he's the right way out now to the final corner. I mean, is the track map shows to me that he is the right way around. He might just be for the driving now.
So fight
and Walker.
For P7.
Oh, actually, you're right. It's a 5 for P7. Tumulty now gets past Ritter, and that is happening. I believe the number 64 car getting past the 77. Happening right now. Where is that actually? That is on the back straight. Ooh, we do see some crashes, some taps there. Currently 6th place Tumulty, Ritter, and Munro dropping behind. Munro dropping very far back, stationary almost, from the looks of it. There it is. Munro very slowly on the back straight, on the start-finish straight, drops down to 10th place now, as Ritter and Tumulty are just a little bit further up ahead, fighting for that 6th place.
Yeah, but what's happening with Munro? That's not the first time he's going that slowly. So that might be an external issue, it seems like it, which is not a good sign of anything. His wheels, pedals, well, it can be anything to be honest, but he is dropping like a sack of bricks. Maybe that might even be DNF. But I'm not entirely sure. Also, Volker. Yeah, it seems like he wants to battle with who? That's my question.
Well, I think he wants to battle with Matchenchik, no? I mean, he's way out in first place. Currently, the number 18 car.
To try and slow him down.
The straight. Yeah. I mean, people aren't really donating for any drive-through. So he's taking matters into his own hands. I'm surprised that Frog hasn't done it yet. But Munro taking matters into his own hands, currently looking at Matchenchik who is going to the start finish straight, completing his 5th lap of the race, which means we have 3 laps to go in this event. A 3:48 with a 3:45 from Blakely, who's doing a great job. That's actually the fastest lap of the race with only a purple sector 2. So he's doing a great job of gaining on the lead car, and he might just gain a little bit more because the number 23 of Munro is stuck right before the first big braking zone. And we know these vans are big, but is it big enough to target a van going at 160 kilometers an hour?
Oh, you will be surprised. What? It doesn't care how big and small things are, you can easily target anything, to be honest. So, if you weren't ready for some fun things to happen, then be ready for them now, because absolute chaos will pop out on track.
We saw him move just now. He might have missed the match and chick. He's now looking at Blakely. Blakely going through. Oh no, Blakely. That's Blakely going through. And that's
Walker as well.
That's everyone on through. So I don't know who he's battling with.
Now,
it's Curson,
behind him.
right behind him. He might actually be fighting with Curson. He has gone again. That's actually
He was
Corbett.
waiting for Corbett.
So he's with Corbett fighting now for 15th place. So that is that's an interesting run there. Dropping all the way back. And I do believe Corbett was the one to put the ballast on Curson. So maybe Munro is just maybe avenging Curson a little bit.
That might happen. Talking about Curson, where is Curson?
He's in 5th place. He's about 10 seconds behind Music.
Oh yeah, I'm blind.
And 30 seconds ahead of Tumulty. So he's pretty far behind. Currently looking at Curson here. The number 8 car. He's currently starting his 6th lap as Matinchik and Blakely are making their way through the middle sector. Blakely still gaining about 3.5 seconds now, as Lewis Walker is on his way as well, trying to go on through. He's not gaining too much. It's actually gone about equal with Matinchik and lost about 3 seconds to Blakely. So there's a gap of about 10 seconds from Walker to Matinchik is staying as it is. He does have a car behind him. I believe that is Munro. And the number 23 car, Munro, is right behind him. And maybe it's still a fight. Maybe Walker is getting taken out by Munro. Who knows?
Yeah, what do we know? But yeah, Blakely is not going fast enough for Matinchik. 7.5 minutes to go. And it's, well, now it's just all about mistakes and losing speed.
And Blakely is opening the gap quite quickly. I don't think that's due to mistakes from Matinchik, because his delta is currently about 0.3 quicker, and this is a mistake. That's Walker currently in the hairpin. He is slowed down quite a bit.
That's a mistake.
Well, yeah, he's able to get on through now. But Matinchik almost equaling his delta on this lap. Blakely hasn't. And that's because the fastest lap from Blakely is about 2.5 seconds quicker than the fastest lap from Matinchik. But they are making their way through the start-finish straight, and we only have a few more opportunities for your drive-throughs to be presented to the drivers. So if you're going to make a drive-through donation, be sure to do it quickly, because these drivers will only pass the finish line once more before finishing the race. Another fastest lap for Lucas Blakely of 46.6. No, he has done a 45.8. So it's not his fastest lap. But there, if you put a drive-through on these guys, they might just end up with Walker. It might just be a fight once more. And there's only one lap remaining. There's only one spot that you can do it in, and that is the current 4 minutes or 3.5 minutes. So if you want to have a Matinchik and Blakely fight with Lewis Walker, there's only one option, is to send them into a drive-through, which is still possible on the donation screen. £15 for a drive-through for one of these drivers. Of course, £30 for both of them. It is still possible. If we do both, that's not going to make this fight any less intense, of course, because these two will be entering and exiting the drive-through, the pit lane at the same time, but it will only add Walker into the fight, and that is something that I would love to see, of course. We have hit our goal, and I'm very thankful for everyone donating, so appreciate every single one of you. but seeing this fight with Walker would be the highlight of my evening, I would say.
It would be quite a highlight, but I think the highlight already happened with us reaching the goal, which is such an incredible milestone for, well, to race for any charity, to be honest. So thank you a lot for donating, and as said, donations are still open even though we are past past our goal. The more the merrier, I would say.
And it is getting quite close. 2 seconds now between Blakely and Machenchik. 1.8, I should say, as Munro is now fighting with the number 80 car. And that is in the hands of, I must say that I am clueless, that is Walker, actually. So Walker is currently being quite slowly, but he's getting attacked by John Munro. So that might be the driver that he was waiting for in the end. So it is still a close fight between those two, even though Munro is a full lap behind him. So that is, of course, always fun to see. But currently, looking at the two drivers in the lead of this race, it is Machenchik and Lucas Blakely in first and second respectively, going towards the hairpin. And there is a back marker coming through. That's number 47. That is Frog. And we know what Frog can do. We saw him in the end of race 1. He had a little moment. We know what he can do, and he's doing exactly that. Sideways now on the track. Blakely goes on through. Machenchik stays behind, having hit that truck a little bit earlier, and Frog is now 18th place and stopping Machenchik from taking the lead of this race. He's parked just the wrong way, and perfectly for Blakely to go right on through, and Machenchik will be behind currently by about 13 seconds. And that, of course, is going to set Blakely out in the first place.
Well, one more lap to go. I think Blakely will have it as a parade lap up to this point. It's, what else can you do but admire the night here at Macau, China? Absolutely.
We do have a donation from Olaf Machenchik. 5% less power for Blakely. Hit the apexes, Oscar. I think this donation might have gone in a little bit too late, because Oscar has just lost the position. I don't think Blakely will be too bothered by another 5% decrease in power on this final lap, as he is about 16 seconds ahead. So I don't think Machenchik will be able to keep up with those 5-second extra power loss for Blakely, and an addition of the encouragement of hitting the apexes. I think that this one is quite settled unless Blakely currently wants to do something, and I am imploring him to do something crazy on the final lap. Maybe try the uphill in reverse. Maybe, you know, he can do it, right?
Well, probably. I don't know.
Oh,
but
this is Curson backwards.
Went to multi with Frog as well. Frog is
Frog is doing some things. He's currently backwards. Yep, he's going backwards.
Nah, man.
He's doing oh, that's the wrong way. Exactly. Yep.
That's what he wants to do.
Like I said, it is very difficult to go side by side, and what if he stays like this? It might just give Blakely. It is the final lap, right? If he stays like this, it's gonna. Yes. Oh, there's cars behind. Yeah, that's Tumulty just roaring on through as Curson stays behind. If he blocks the track, he might just block Blakely and give Machenchik another chance at redemption. Frog might just do the downhill backwards, as we're looking at it. Number 47, not happy with the with the way this race is going, trying to take matters into his own hands. Currently looking at the 88 going at the start of the uphill, as we have the number 18 of Machenchik right behind, currently in the distance. Don't think we can see that on the camera there, but he is a bit behind. I was going to say it doesn't look too far, but it's 16 seconds as Frog is wiping away the tears of the crying drivers that he has hit on his windscreen. He is going through the lap, and if he crosses the finish line, he will not be able to impede anyone else. So he's got to think about that one.
He'll just stay in the penultimate corner or something. Try to make the most chaos he can. But the main eye is on the front man. Lucas Blakely just enjoying the laps here. Oscar as well. What can you do, to be honest? That it's just unlucky for Machenchik. It's, yeah.
I mean, it's a back marker who who we saw do these things before as well. I think he's doing no. Is he doing the same thing again in the final straight? He might be. Blakely is currently up the hill. He's being stopped by the 55 car. The 55 car is currently in the hands of, looking through the list, Panigil. So he is slowing down a tiny bit. And I am wondering though what we're going to do with the winner of all, because Blakely got a second place, Walker got a third place. Matthew Sheik was further behind with Gerson in first place before. So Blakely got a second place and now looking to be a first place. He's not getting slowed down too much. Frog has crossed the finish line, meaning that he won't be impeding anyone. The number 33 of P&G Mafia currently having the final corner, the only car to stop Blakely. But it looks like the race is done and dusted. It is Lucas Blakely out in first, a 13.5 second gap after pole position, second place all the way to the back, and then being first at the end of lap 1. An honorable fight with Machinchik that ended a little bit dishonorably with the number 4 car of Frog just a few laps ago. I think Blakely's having fun with this one. One more corner to go for our start-finish straight. No donations for drive-thrus, no donations for penalties, and it doesn't matter. All the restrictions were put on Blakely today, and none of it has worked. He's gotten the second place, he's gotten the first place, and I believe maybe we will have him as a total victor here today, with Machinchik coming in second place for race number 2, currently in that final corner, exiting and heading on to the straight. He has crashed already on the straight, and he might just lose out on Lewis Walker, who is right behind him. Oh, he's going in reverse. He's going in reverse. It looks like Machinchik is going in reverse over the finish line, and he loses that second place to Walker, who has just gotten past him. Machinchik in third, Walker in second, as he's back the right way around, as all the drivers are now trundling in. quickly before it disappears from the screen. Oh, it has disappeared from the screen. As has the light in my house. It has gotten very dark in here throughout the race. I mean, the race going from day to night. My house has also gone from day to night. And I think this has been good racing. We've seen lots of crashes. I've been very happy to look at this. I'm still looking and waiting for the race direction to see who will be our overall winner. But Spitzlam, favorite moment for the race?
Ooh, definitely the side-by-side racing between Oscar and Lucas. That was some of the most amazing racing I have ever seen, and even in these transits, it's even more impressive. Even as you said, they can take a lot of damage, but it's still pretty impressive to go side by side, breaking into the corners and not touching at the end of it. What
I
about
think
yours?
I really like that too. I like the battle a lot. It's such a shame that Frog was impeding at that in this final few laps to get them down and to break them up, because that could have been a fight to the end. I really think that could have been. I wouldn't put that as my number one moment of the race, though. I think the best part for me for the race was thinking we have a race one. We're starting here. Actually, we should probably do this the other side. We're starting here, right? And we're going through race one. We have a result, and then we go through race two. It went more like we start race one, we go to turn one or turn three, the first big braking zone, and all the drivers crumbled. It was just a pile up into the corner with cars being upside down, sideways, backwards on the track, just everywhere but the right direction, and one or two drivers slowly trickling through that gap, through that obstruction they had in that turn. I think that was one of my favorite moments of the race, and that happened a few times actually, with big crashes in the hairpin as well as the top guys were still going. And as you can see, there I have to figure out the left and right thing here. Right there is still the QR code. You can still donate to Mind if you're free to do so. Then again, I do have to mention, don't spend any money that you don't have. Don't go into debt by giving to charity. Every single cent helps, but don't do it if yourself is in trouble. You won't be able to donate for any incentives anymore. This will just go straight to charity. And I will have to thing round this off. We are at 110%. We've done what we've gotten what we intended to do here at Grid Finder with this Transit Mania from the Off Sentre Racing. This event has gone quite well. I think I've had lots of fun looking at this. We're looking at the final call. They are typing. They are typing very, very loudly.
We are
as
checking.
it seems. I'm seeing votes coming through. I don't think that is a good system, but I mean, I voted as well, so who gives?
There we go.
Yeah, we have it. It's based off the final finishing position, and we do have Lucas Blakely as our winner for having the victory in race two and having the second place in race one. He will get that victory. Lewis Walker got third and second respectively, getting second place. And Jack Curson, even though he finished fifth, he won the first race and does get the third place on average. So that was Blakely, Walker, and Curson on the top three. And I believe those were also the ones that were the most penalized. I think we have Blakely a lot of penalized, and I think Curson as well a little bit. I don't know if Walker got a lot of restrictions there, but yeah, I think that's going to be it for our side. Final chance to donate, of course. There's the link. So there it is.
Now it's back. It's back. There
it is. You can still donate if you want to. It's going to be my final call there. Yeah, so I want to say just thank you everyone for donating and for supporting and for watching this. It's going to be more racing on Grid Finder, not for charity, but there will be more racing. There will be more racing for Off Sentre Racing as well. We will be doing more stuff soon. I don't know if we're allowed to tell that either on the broadcast, but it has been a pleasure, Spitzlam, to have you alongside me for this race. I've really enjoyed this, especially the big crashes and the surprise upsets. So yeah, that being said, any final words?
Nah, you said everything perfectly. Just from my side, you'll definitely see more racing everywhere on a Grid Finder in any game at all at Acero Corsa iRacing, Acero Corsa Rally when it comes available for multiplayer stuff, and just everything there that you have to know. I hope you have a great evening.
and copy that. And hopefully we'll see you sometime soon. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.
Bye bye.